What up, everybody? What up, everybody? What up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of AC Reviews the World. I am your host, AC the Engineer, and we are at episode 84. Let's give it a round. Yep. Like always, episode 80. Like always, we moving on up. We're at episode 84 now. It is Thursday, December 11th, 2025, and just after 6:15. We got a lot of things to cover, like always. A lot of crazy things happening, a lot of things that we need to review together. We're going to go everything over to, we got the Michigan head football coach, who was fired and then arrested hours later. Crazy situation. We're going to go over into, we got a excessive force that was caught on Patrol Live. So if you don't know what that is, that's like cops, basically. And we got some people who were in court that ripped something very sick, ripped the baby from the mother. We very sick individuals. And then lastly, we got a 13-year-old who committed murder, and he is being charged as an adult. So a lot of crazy things going on, a lot of crazy things that we need to look over. Like always, if you disagree with anything I said, please let me know. We can leave a comment, and let's have a good discussion on it. If you ever have anything you want to send or me to review, please send it over to my email. It's acreviewstheworld@gmail.com, a dot after the A and a dot after the C. But you know how I like to do it. Let's jump right into it. The first thing we're going over today, we got to go over the Michigan head coach stuff. So let's get over into that. Sherrone. See, I'm trying to say the name. I just said his name. Sherrone Moore. So he was arrested after being fired. And we got some crazy things happening. It looks like TMZ also had a 911 call. So we're going to get into that as well. But we got a few videos to look over. Let's jump over into it and see what we can learn from this situation. Let's jump into it.
Hours after being fired as the University of Michigan's head football coach, Sherrone Moore detained on allegations of assault. Police responding to a call Wednesday in the Pittsville Township area where they say a suspect was taken into custody, adding the incident does not appear to be random in nature.
It went from being a football story at about 4 o'clock to being a much more serious story than that.
The investigation does not name Moore, and no charges have been filed. Hours earlier, the University of Michigan announcing in a statement it fired the 39-year-old married father of 3 with cause effective immediately after the school says he allegedly had an inappropriate relationship with a staff member, saying UM maintains zero tolerance for such behavior.
This is something that's been percolating at Michigan for the last couple weeks. There was initial flurry of speculation and an early investigation that died down toward the end of the regular season.
And Sherrone Moore was able to build a game plan that put his quarterback in a great position to succeed today.
Moore was.
This man let a woman get in front of his $1 million bag. Cost him his $1 million. Well, he's definitely still gonna have some coach, be able to get a coaching job, but at the moment, he let a woman get in the way of his bag. It's absolutely crazy. Let's keep going.
Hired by Michigan in 2018 as a tight ends coach before rising up the ranks and becoming Michigan's head coach in 2024 after Jim Harbaugh left to join the NFL.
One final sack for this Michigan defense.
Moore leading the Wolverines to a 17-8 record in his 2 seasons at the helm, but the program has been mired in controversy. In 2023, then Michigan coach Harbaugh was suspended after a Wolverines football analyst was accused of a scheme to steal signals from opposing football teams. Moore, who served as interim head coach at the time, also suspended multiple games. And another former coach, Matthew Wise, facing charges, accused of stealing private and intimate images of student athletes. That case is still ongoing. Wise has pleaded not guilty.
Wow.
And Michigan's football season is not over yet. They take on Texas in the Citrus Bowl on New Year's Eve. The team will be led by an interim head coach. ABC News has reached out to Moore for comment, but we have not received a response yet. It's just been a stunning 24 hours.
I know we're all stunned, but imagine.
All this happened in 24 hours. Absolutely crazy. Let's get over into the next video.
Welcome back here on Live Now from Fox. The time 7:16 on the East Coast and 4:16 on the West Coast. I want to get you right in your headlines here, as we always check with our different Fox affiliates. Former Michigan head football coach now behind bars this morning. I do want to head over to Robin Murdoch. She is with our Fox 2 Detroit team about what we know so far. And it sounds as though, Robin, police not really saying a whole lot just yet.
Yeah, police are being very careful about what they say due to the sensitive nature of this situation. Josh, I can tell you, though, that we are currently standing outside the Washtenaw County Jail here in Ann Arbor, and this is where the former head coach for the University of Michigan's football team is being held. And to give you some perspective, this is about 30 miles away from Detroit. From what we understand, Sherrone Moore is being held here while the prosecutor's office reviews possible charges against him. Now, again, investigators are not sharing a lot of information about the case at this point, but we have been able to confirm that the Moore was detained following an incident involving Pittsfield Township Police yesterday afternoon. Now, that department put out a press release saying officers were dispatched to a home in connection to an alleged assault. Now, we are told this does not appear to be a random act, but this is all that police will say due to the sensitive nature of this case. Now, this comes just hours after the University of Michigan fired Moore over what's being described as an inappropriate relationship with a staff member. Students on campus obviously very surprised by the latest developments. Take a listen to what they had to say.
I'm really surprised, honestly. I thought after Harbaugh left, it may be a good idea to kind of clean house and get everybody out, but I was not expecting this to happen, and I'm really not certain what they're going to do now. Everyone else has been hired.
Now, the University of Michigan's athletic director did release a statement in response to Moore's firing, and that statement does say in part that following a university investigation, credible evidence was found that Coach Moore engaged in an inappropriate relationship with a staff member. The conduct constitutes a clear violation of university policy, and U of M maintains zero tolerance for such behavior, end quote. Now, Moore has been with the University of Michigan since 2018.
Now, that is an absolutely crazy situation. You get fired and then you get arrested. It's a crazy situation. But, you know, TMZ has pulled out a little something, and TMZ has released the call from the 911 call. So let's get over into it.
561-553 for domestic. Subject just called the caller, told her there's a male at the location and the house attacking her. The state's been stalking her for months. For the Pittsfield unit's reference to domestic, we just got a call from S1's wife in Ann Arbor saying that the subject is suicidal, reference losing his job today.
Suicidal.
He walked out with 79. Clear. And just FYI, there's a U of M detective that's going to be making that location as well.
Crazy situation. Let's get over into an article so we can picture a little bit more about this. So, article from TMZ about this whole thing. So let's get over into it. Let's see right here. So TMZ. So Sherrone Moore dispatch. A woman's claim coach attacked her. So suspect suicidal over losing job. So TMZ Sport has obtained dispatch audio stemming from an alleged Sherrone Moore assault with a woman claimed that he attacked her at her home on Wednesday after stalking her for months. The audio states a call was made from Michigan football employees' address in Ann Arbor, Michigan around 4 p.m. The employee, who has worked for the Wolverine for years, was the executive assistant to the head coach, the position Moore held until he was fired for having an inappropriate relationship with a fellow staffer. It is unclear if the employee was the woman allegedly attacked, or if the incident just so happened to take place at her home. The employee's name stated to trend shortly after the news broke of Moore's termination, with several unverified reports stating that she was involved in the scandal. The employee has deleted several social media accounts. Later on in the audio obtained via broadcast feed, a report is made that the suspect's wife said he is suicidal, and it's hard to make out, but it sounds like it is due to losing his job today. It goes on to say the suspect has a knife and that a U of M detective is either heading to or already at the location. As we previously reported, Moore is currently behind bars at the county jail as the investigation continues. And the cop says minutes ago he is slated to go above a judge on Friday. Absolutely crazy situation. Now they're saying that he might be suicidal, which I would never. I can understand all this happening at once. That it can be a lot. It can be a lot. So I always say, if you're ever feeling suicidal, please talk to someone. Please talk to someone. But we got to be honest. You got to be honest. At the end of the day, all of this is his fault. All of it is his fault. He was either having an inappropriate relationship and then assaulting a woman. Everything stems from his own actions. And he is now behind bars and going to face the consequences. He lost a good job, making a lot of money, all because he couldn't keep his hands to himself. And then he got arrested because he couldn't keep his hands to himself. It's a crazy situation. But it all stems from his own actions. And if he did it, hey, you got to face the crime for it. Got to face the crime for it. But let me know your thoughts on that whole situation, y'all. Have you heard anything different? It's a crazy situation. Crazy situation. But this is why we got to review the world together. Got to review the world together. At the end of the day, don't let a stupid action cost you your job, your money, your freedom. Crazy situation, y'all. Absolutely crazy. But like I said, let me know your thoughts on that whole thing. How do you feel about it? Do you think he's going to go to jail? Do you think he's just going to do you think he'll be able to get another coaching job? Most likely he will, but absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy, y'all. But we're going to pivot over into the next topic. So this, if you don't know what on Patrol Live is, so we got to go over to On Patrol Live. So we got an excessive force on Patrol Live. If you don't know what that is, it's like cops, where you got the camera crew following around the police officers while they do their job. And somehow, or I guess, and for some reason, the cop decided to go haywire or possibly go haywire and use excessive force during a traffic stop. But let's get over into the videos. We got a few videos to look at, and let's see if we think it actually is excessive force. But let's get over into it.
In case you missed it, Richland deputies are announcing the arrest of a Richland County man named Maxie Alton. It comes after a traffic stop that was featured during On Patrol Live. Deputies say they stopped Alton over on Hardscrabble Road Saturday night. They say they saw a bag of suspected narcotics inside of his vehicle. They also tell News 19 that when they ordered him out, he refused and fought deputies as they tried removing him. After several minutes, they detained him and found drugs, an open liquor bottle, and a firearm inside of the vehicle. Alton, a convicted felon, faces multiple charges and has since been released on bond.
Well, Columbia Fire.
Hold on. So he had all those charges. Well, we're going to go over to the next. He had all those charges and released on bond. It's a crazy situation. But let's get over into the next video and we can actually see what he looks like.
In other news this afternoon, a viral video showing Richland County deputies forcibly removing a man from his car during a traffic stop is raising a lot of questions tonight.
Some people reaching out to our newsroom and going on social media saying the deputies went too far.
In fact, here is some of the discussion that's taking place on social media, including calls for a protest at tonight's County Council meeting.
The nearly 6-minute-long video captured Saturday night by the show On Patrol Live, which follows the Richland County Sheriff's Department each week.
The video shows 4 deputies pulling a man from his car. They are then seen tasing, punching, and even pulling his pants off.
Our Lena Allen joins us live in studio. Lena, the agency has since released more details.
Right. Richland County Sheriff's Department says that this all started on Saturday during a traffic stop on Hardscrabble Road near Magnolia Hall Road. They pulled over 31-year-old Maxie Alton for failing to maintain lane. That's when things escalated. Now, deputies say once they pulled Alton over, they discovered a plastic.
Hold on. God. Yeah, they beat the brakes off him. God. Let's keep going.
Bag containing white substance. According to a sheriff's report, Alton said it was mushrooms and handed it over. That's when deputies asked him to step out the car. They say he refused, attempting to shut the car door. The report says Alton became combative, attempting to kick deputies several times as they tried to get him out of the car. Now, during the incident, deputies struck and tased Alton, saying he continued to fight deputies for several minutes. Once they got him out the car, they searched it and found an open bottle of liquor, drugs, and a firearm with a box of ammunition. Now, deputies say Alton is a convicted felon and is not allowed to have a gun. Alton now faces several charges, including third-degree assault and battery, drug possession, felon in possession of a firearm, an open container, and resisting arrest. He was taken to the Alvin S. Glenn Detention Center and later released on an over $17,000 bond. Now, deputies say Alton has resisted arrest before. Earlier this year, he was pulled over for running a red light. Deputies say he resisted then, too. I have reached out to Alton for a comment, and I'm still waiting to hear back. Live in studio, Lena Allen, WIS News 10.
That's a crazy situation. Let's back it up a tad bit and look at it one more time. Where's he at? God. Absolutely crazy. Let's get over into this next video and see if we learn anything different.
Tonight, the Richland County Sheriff's Department is reviewing its use of force policy after a recent arrest that was caught on camera in a popular TV show. That arrest over the weekend during On Patrol Live is making some waves. Our Mike White has been looking into that and joins us now with the latest. Mike, what do you know?
Friendly, just before 8 p.m. on Saturday, December 6th, a Richland County deputy pulled over a vehicle on a Hardscrabble Road in Columbia for failure to maintain a lane. And following that pull over, the deputy found a white substance in the car that the driver identified as a drug, ultimately leading to the arrest of Maxie Alton. Now, this arrest was a part of On Patrol Live, and the footage that came from the scene on Saturday night has spread across social media these last few days.
Scenes from Hardscrabble Road outside an O'Reilly's Auto Parts Saturday night after an arrest by Richland County deputies was captured on camera during the show On Patrol Live, and it has people talking.
My wife showed me the video early this morning, and I was surprised because I recognized this auto parts store near my home, and I was just really taken aback.
According to the Richland County Sheriff's Department, Maxie Alton was instructed to step out of the car. He refused and tried to shut the door, and that's when deputies tried to remove Alton from the car, but they say he resisted. Deputies hit Alton and used a taser on him to get him out of the car. Alton kept kicking deputies before he was put in cuffs several minutes later, but some think what happened was a little too much.
Sometimes you might want to question, why do I have to get out the car? But ultimately, when they ask you to do something, you need to do it. But that was unnecessary.
After Alton was detained, deputies say they found an open bottle of liquor, drugs, and a gun with a box of ammunition. Authorities also say he was in possession of mushrooms. On Tuesday, the department said social media is only showing a portion of the incident, and the Professional Standards Division and Training Division will review the use of force. The Citizens Advisory Council will also review the evidence during its January meeting.
It just needs to stop. It's too much. Like, that was a man who said, I'm waiting for my dad. If they would have gave him 5 more minutes of calm talking, his father would have came and might have been able to clear it up a little better.
The 31-year-old Alton has 19 prior charges in Virginia and 8
Hold on. He was waiting for his dad. 31 years old. Hold on, let's back that up a tad bit.
Said social media is only showing a portion of the incident. In their professional standards division and training division will review the use of force. The Citizens Advisory Council will also review the evidence during its January meeting.
It just needs to stop. It's too much. Like, that was a man who said, I'm waiting for my dad. If they would have gave him 5 more minutes of calm talking, his father would have came and might have been able to clear it up a little better.
The 31-year-old Outen has 19 prior charges in Virginia and 8 pending charges in South Carolina. On Saturday, Outen was charged with possession of a Schedule I narcotic, felon in possession of a firearm, transport liquor by vehicle with seal broken, assault and battery 3rd degree, and resisting arrest.
Now when Watch Fox News reached out to the department requesting an interview or a statement from Sheriff Leon Lott, we were told that he has nothing else to add on the arrest outside of the background that was provided. Now when it comes to Outen, he was transported to Alvin S. Glenn Detention Center and he was granted a $17,000 bond. He has been already released. Reporting in Columbia, Mike White. Watch Fox.
That's a crazy situation. Absolutely crazy. Now, was it excessive force? I don't know. I've been looking, trying to find that video. Let's do a quick. We ain't gonna spend too much on it. Let me see if I can find it really quickly because I've been looking. You know I've been looking. There it is. That's it. Let's see. Let's go back here. So we got images from the scene. Jesus. Images from the scene.
On patrol.
Early this morning.
Yeah, that's the same video we watched. They really did mess him up. It's just crazy. But I can't find that video anywhere. I will keep looking and see if I can find anything, but at the end of the day, they really did. Jesus. Fighting. End of the day, if the cop tells you to get out the car, I don't care what you got in the car, just go ahead and get out the car. If you think they're violating your rights, then get a lawyer. Don't fight with the police because one, you're going to either get in a fight and they're going to either try to crack your head open, or two, all that fighting might be nothing, and you don't even win the lawsuit. It's a crazy situation. But let me know what y'all think. Did y'all see the full video? I haven't seen it. It's a crazy situation no matter what. But like I said, if the officer tells you to get out the car, get out the car. If you think your rights are being violated, get out the car and then call a lawyer. That's the best advice I can give you. It's a crazy situation no matter what. Let me know what your thoughts is on that whole thing. Let me know if you disagree with anything I said. It's a crazy world, y'all. Got to review it together. We have to review it together. We're going to pivot over into the next thing we're going to be talking about. It's a dark one. It's a dark, tragic one. We got a couple, I believe it's a couple, but they are on trial for killing a woman and taking her baby out of her body. Some sick people in this world. There's some very sick people in this world. But these are the things we got to look over. These are the things we got to look at because this is how we judge how we move forward. Let's get over into it. We're going to see them in court first, and then we're going to go over to another where we get a little more information about it. So let's jump over into it.
We will go ahead and we'll set this over for another probable cause conference after 30 days to run with Ms. Garfeld.
Courtney and Bradley Bartholomew, the biological mom and stepfather accused in the torture and murder of Rebecca Park and her infant, appearing in court today. Now, what played out inside the courtroom today could be called routine as the case continues through the steps of the legal.
You know, I like to pause a little bit just so we can get a look at the accused. They look crazy to me, but let's keep going.
Process. But documents describing the crimes the Bartholomews are charged with are giving us a glimpse into some disturbing new details. The documents provided by the court after we filed a Freedom of Information Act request reveal what investigators believe are the graphic final moments of 22-year-old Rebecca Park. Our report tonight from Tony Lundy comes with a warning to our viewers because they are very difficult to hear.
22-year-old Rebecca Park was reportedly last seen on November 3rd entering a vehicle outside her biological mother's house. She was reported missing the next day. A week later, law enforcement gave the community the green light to search the Manistee Forest, as long as it didn't disrupt their investigation. And on November 14th, volunteers began their search.
And to have that person ripped from you, it really tears at my heart. I want to bring closure to her and her family.
Ironically, we now know that Rebecca was already dead when that search was taking place. According to probable cause documents, Rebecca was killed on Monday, November 3rd. Her body was found by a volunteer searcher on Tuesday, November 25th. We learned Tuesday through probable cause documents that Courtney Bartholomew told investigators that Rebecca was conscious when she cut the baby out and that Bradley was holding a knife to her throat. She went on to say in those documents that she tried to tie off the umbilical cord the best she could, and that when the baby was out, Bradley slit her throat. Investigators say it was Bradley Bartholomew who took them to the spot this all happened and told them that the baby never took a breath and he never heard the baby cry. Bradley also said he and Courtney put the baby in a GFL garbage tote at a house north of their residence.
Now, I'm assuming he said that because if I'm mistaken, let me know, but if the baby would have took a breath and then it died, he could have been charged with that murder as well. But I don't know what all he's charged with right now, but these are some demons, y'all.
Both Courtney and Bradley Bartholomew are facing multiple charges, including torture and murder, and some are describing the crimes as evil personified. In Wexford County, Tony...
Definitely evil personified. I can clearly hear that. Let's get over into this next video to get a little bit more information about it.
If you followed our reporting on the absolutely horrific killing of a young pregnant woman in Michigan, Rebecca Park, you're really not going to be shocked to learn what the victim's loved ones told police about who did what and why. If this case is new to you, just know that Park was 22 years old and 38 weeks long when she disappeared on November 3rd. She was found November 25th in a national forest, stabbed to death, and her baby cut out of her body. Prosecutors say the baby's dead, but we still don't know where it is. Rebecca's birth mother and stepfather, we're talking about Courtney and Bradley Bartholomew, are each charged with first-degree murder among...
I didn't know it was the birth mother and step.
Among many other charges, they're each being held without bail. We're talking about the family here being responsible or allegedly responsible. And now, we have the probable cause affidavits that are supporting their arrest. And surprise, each is pointing the finger at one another. Police say Courtney told them that Bradley confessed to killing Rebecca the day after her mutilated body was found. Allegedly, Courtney said Bradley claimed to have slit Rebecca's throat. And when she asked what happened to the baby, he said he put it in a cooler and then a trash bag and then threw it in the trash. But then Bradley spoke to police and allegedly said Courtney stabbed Rebecca, ripped out the baby, and threw it away in a cooler. He said Courtney had Rebecca lie down in the woods while she was still alive and cut the baby out of her, supposedly because she wanted it for herself, which obviously raises the question of why she didn't keep it unless it didn't survive. But the only murder charge that was filed so far is for Rebecca's murder, not the infant's. And if that is not enough to make your head spin about all of this, because it's so hard to understand what's happening, there is another affidavit we need to talk about. This one for Rebecca's sister, Kimberly Park, again, all in the family. She has been charged with lying to police and obstruction, and now we know why. 3 days before Rebecca was found, Kimberly allegedly told police that Courtney and Brad killed her, both of them. She said they hit Rebecca so hard on the head that she had a seizure and died, so they had her carted away. 3 days later, Kimberly had a different story. She told police that her dead sister's fiancé, a guy named Richard Fowler, confessed that he killed Rebecca. Fowler's facing charges now too, but on drugs, not murder. Now, I want you to get this. Before he was engaged to Rebecca, Fowler dated Kimberly, her sister, as well as Courtney, her birth mom. I want you to process all that for a second.
This might be the most disgusting family dynamic that I have ever seen.
Now, Courtney was out of the picture for most of Rebecca's life. The two had just reconnected a few years back. And as for Kimberly, the same day that she accused Courtney and Bradley, she also spoke on a podcast that is hosted by a friend of ours. It's called Steph's Case Files. And Steph is Stephanie Pratt. And here's a bit of what Kimberly told her on November 22nd.
Courtney told me if I say absolutely anything, me and my daughter are both going down for it. She said it to my face. She said it the day after my sister disappeared when I came out there.
It's hard to make sense of any of this, but I want to bring on Stephanie Pratt right now. Joins me now live. Stephanie, thank you so much for coming on. Hopefully you can sort this out. I want to start with Courtney and Bradley playing the blame game. The police, telling police the other killed Rebecca, threw away her baby. Can you tell us more about what you know about their statements to police?
Yes, they seem to be playing, just as you said, the blame game. When they questioned Courtney Bartholomew, she stated Brad was the one who hid in the truck, and she was then to get Rebecca to get in the truck. They got in the truck. Courtney says they're just riding along, and then he just starts taking out the knife. And according to her, he was stabbing her 4 to 5 times in both the chest and the back. But then when they brought Brad in, he switched it on Courtney and said she was the one that was swinging the knife as he was stopping the truck to get out of the truck because the knife was still swinging and he didn't know what was going on. So each of them blame each other. But really what police have to do is overlap their stories to figure out what is correct. They both were there. They both were involved. They both handled some sort of weapon. And I think that's going to be the underlying case.
That's a really good point, because right now they believe that they are responsible, not Richard Fowler, for the death. And this idea, I'm still confused. This idea that Courtney lured her out, stabbed her, made her lie down, took the baby out, I guess because I'm trying to understand what the motive would have been for that, whether it was to get the baby or there was tension. I don't really quite understand. And then why would Bradley want to kill Rebecca? What would be the motives here for both of them to do this?
Well, we know by Bradley's own testimony that him and Rebecca did not get along, so that would be one motive for him. But in speaking and interviewing Courtney Bartholomew myself, she told me directly that she had plans to move to Texas. And I said, why Texas? That's so far away. She said, well, Brad went there for work one time. He liked it. I like it. We want to move there. We want to have a baby together. My son wants to have a sibling. In fact, in the affidavit, you'll note that she talked about a NICU baby that was hers, that was born early to a friend, stating that the baby was having trouble breathing. So when you put all of this together, I believe the motive was to have a baby that she had already named and had stated in the affidavit that she was mad at Rebecca for killing.
And I just want to circle back on this idea of, if this is all true and Rebecca Park endured all this, stabbed and had the baby ripped out of her and died, that is just unimaginable. It is unimaginable. And you think about this unborn baby, because the affidavits get into that too, right? What happened to this unborn baby who still hasn't been found? What do the affidavits reveal that we didn't know before?
So Courtney, one thing that Courtney and Brad both have in common is they say that the baby is inside a blue cooler that was placed inside a trash bag. Now, who placed the baby in the cooler? Courtney says Brad. Brad says Courtney. Then in the trash bag. And then the baby was taken to a dumpster down the road at a house just north of them. And so I'm hoping that authorities are going to try to trace that to a landfill where the baby might be. Who put the baby in the cooler? That's a good question. They both say each other. And the most shocking part of this is Courtney took that baby home, even though the baby had already passed away, and took it to her bedroom and tried CPR for an additional 15 minutes before they decided to discard of the baby boy.
This is wild. Oh my. That poor baby. There's some demons in this world.
Oh my gosh. And I'll say, look, recovering the baby is not only important from a human point of view and an emotional point of view and a justice point of view, but from a forensic point of view, can obviously say a lot. Real quick, Rebecca's sister, Kimberly, telling police that, okay, it was Courtney and Bradley were the killers, then saying it was Richard Fowler who confessed to the murder. What did Kim tell you directly about that with Richard?
Well, we know by the affidavit that Kim started telling this story before Rebecca's body was found, trying to paint this narrative and timeline for police, going in there on November the 5th and telling police that Rich was after Rebecca, that Rebecca was trying to get away from him and that he was angry and that he could have been the one to do it. Now, what we also see in the affidavit is Kim was approached with the fact that cadaver dogs hid in her bedroom. She explained that away to authorities as the fact that her and Rich are having an affair and that there was bodily fluids inside the bedroom, and that's what the dogs hid on. So now we have an affair between Kimberly Park and Rich, who is engaged to Kimberly's sister, Rebecca, who used to date their mom, Courtney.
Oh my gosh. It's it's hard to make sense of that. I mean, my gosh, the different people that are involved in all this, the connections, the allegations, trying to make sense of it, very, very tough. Stephanie Pratt, thank you so much for coming on. Really appreciate you.
This is a crazy story. This is the wildest thing I've heard in years. God. But we got the mother, the stepfather, the sister, and the fiance. Who killed her? Everyone's giving different stories. The main thing is most likely the mother and the stepfather. But oh my God, where's the baby? We don't know where the baby is. We don't know if it was a lie. Because remember back in the last video, someone said that the baby didn't breathe, it didn't laugh, and that's because if they did, then they would be able to be charged them with that murder. That's why whoever it is being charged is only being charged with the murder and torture of the mother. 22 years old, getting tortured potentially by someone you cared about, your family member. It don't matter who did it. Someone in her family did it to her. And then while you're alive, your baby gets ripped out of you. The devil is at work. The devil is at work. Let me know your thoughts on that whole situation, y'all. It's crazy. Well, oh God, that was crazy. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know what you're thinking about that situation. Have you heard anything different? Did you know about this? End of the day, they all need to go to jail. I don't care. I'm tired even looking at them. Send them all to jail. Put them all under the jail. Demons should not walk among us. This is crazy. Let me know your thoughts and let me know if you disagree with anything I said. Absolutely crazy, y'all. Absolutely crazy. We're going to go into the last thing we're going to talk about today, the very last thing. We got a 13-year-old who has been charged with murder, and they're charging him as an adult. I've said this plenty of times. Big boy crimes need big boy time. If you're old enough to know right from wrong, charge him as an adult. If it's a big boy crime, big boy time. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. But let's get over into it and see what we can find out from this situation. Let's jump into it.
Now to our top story. He's only 13 years old, and now he's being charged as an adult. When he should be getting ready to go to bed ahead of a school day tomorrow, he's instead going to be sleeping tonight in a jail cell, waiting for his murder trial. We learned today a grand jury in Brevard County delivered the indictment. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Manny Martinez.
Good evening. I'm Luann Sorrell. Investigators say the teen tried to rob a 30-year-old man, but ended up killing him instead. And Fox 35's Larissa Leone is joining us live in Cocoa tonight. So, Larissa, you spoke to the victim's twin brother.
That's right, Luann. Kelby Miller's twin brother describes him as a man of God, a family man, and his overall protector. He tells me living his life without his twin brother is like missing a piece of his soul.
I would have took that bullet for him. I would have. He's my brother.
For most of his life, Tyler Miller and his twin brother Kelby have been by each other's side.
We've always been kind of connected. We've done everything together for the most part. He's kind of like my soul, you know.
According to the state attorney's office, 30-year-old Kelby Miller drove to an empty house on Bristol Drive in Cocoa to meet with a stranger he had texted over a social media app. Cocoa police say after Miller messaged the stranger that he had arrived, 13-year-old Emerald Rachel walked up to him and tried to rob him, shooting him once in the torso with a .45 caliber handgun.
Now, question, you know, I'm not going to stop it too much, but sounds like I don't know what he was meeting him for, but that sounds like a drug deal gone bad. Now, I might be mistaken, but let's keep going.
According to court documents, Miller then called 911 saying he was robbed. He was then rushed to the hospital where he died. Tyler shares how he took the news of his twin brother's death.
Man, it was really hard, especially the first few weeks. Man, it killed me. It killed my soul a lot.
The state attorney's office tells Fox 35 video from security cameras in the neighborhood showed Rachel walking back and forth in the area where the meeting was supposed to happen, then running towards where the victim was parked about 2 minutes after Miller texted to say he had arrived. The teen's mom reportedly identified him in those videos.
This makes no sense. He didn't deserve that. He was a good guy.
Rachel was originally charged with manslaughter in this shooting, but the state attorney's office says that charge was not enough. 13-year-old Emerald Rachel is being charged as an adult, and a grand jury has indicted him for first-degree felony murder and attempted robbery. Despite the news of Rachel's charges, Tyler and his family say there is no ruling that measures up to the loss they've suffered.
It'll be some of the first holidays that we will be without him, you know, with us celebrating our family. You know, it's made it a lot more joyful to have around.
Yeah, and tonight at 11, we will be talking to an attorney about how these serious charges came to be to this minor. Until then, live in Cocoa, Larissa Leone, Fox 35 News.
I want to know why he was meeting him. What was the reason for the meeting? Let's get over into this next video and see if we can learn anything else.
18-year-old boy from Cocoa faced a judge today charged as an adult with first-degree murder and attempted robbery.
Because of his age, we are not going to identify him. West 2's Megan Moriarty spoke with the victim's
We already seen this picture. You ain't got to identify him.
family, who says he was set up.
30-year-old Kelby Miller can be described as a good person who would give you the shirt off his back. He worked at the Kennedy Space Center visitor complex and was a personal trainer. Kelby also had an identical twin brother, Tyler, and the two did everything together.
Yeah, we had a really deep soul bond right there.
But the 30-year-old's life was cut short after he was shot by a 13-year-old and later died at the hospital.
I'm mind blown. I didn't think a 13-year-old could make that type of an adult choice, you know, to end somebody like that, just run away and leave them.
On November 16th, Kelby drove to Bristol Drive in Cocoa, according to police. An arrest affidavit states he was using a social media application, and chat messages from another user requested the victim to meet at an address on Bristol Drive. The report says the victim said he would meet for sexual activities in exchange for $100. The state attorney's office.
I didn't want to bring it up. That was the other option. The other option was either a drug deal or a sex deal gone bad. So for $100.
He would meet for sexual activities in exchange for $100. The state attorney's office says that Kelby then texted the person he thought he was communicating with, letting them know that he arrived. That's when the suspect approached his car, tried to rob him, and then shot him in the stomach. Investigators say the victim's texts about the meeting were not with the 13-year-old, but with an unidentified accomplice who likely directed the 13-year-old by phone. Kelby believed he was meeting with an adult. This is believed to have been a catfish situation, according to investigators.
He wanted to have a date with somebody, and they set him up, sadly. He was set up. It was the wrong person.
For the Miller family, they believe there's more to this story, and they hope they get answers soon.
I can't wait to get more justice.
Covering Brevard County in Cocoa, Megan Moriarty, West 2 News.
Yeah, whoever was texting them, they got to be charged as well. They have to be charged as well. Okay, but it makes me feel a little bit better that he didn't think he was texting a 13-year-old. At least that's what I'm understanding from the situation. At the end of the day, it's a crazy situation. Absolutely crazy. Let's get over into this article from Florida Today. And see if they bring any more light to what we already know. So let's get over into it. So a 13-year-old boy was indicted by a grand jury for shooting a 30-year-old man in Cocoa. So let's see, a 13-year-old who police said shot a 30-year-old during a botched robbery has been indicted by the grand jury. The teen, whose name Florida Today is not disclosed, we know the thing, was formally charged in first-degree felony, murder, and attempted robbery in connection with the November 16th death of Miller, 30. So prosecutors plan to charge the teen as an adult, which means he could spend the rest of his life in state prison. Good, he should. The boy told detectives that he fired the gun accidentally. The case unfolded after Miller called 911 about 10:28 p.m. on November 16th from near Bristol Drive in Cocoa. Responding patrol officers found Miller, who told officers one person was responsible for the attack, bleeding from the gunshot wound to his torso. Paramedics airlifted him to the regional medical center where he was pronounced dead. Miller's wallet, money, and keys to his trucks were found at the scene. Detectives said Miller had driven earlier to a vacant house to meet someone he had made contact with through an unidentified social media app. The teen turned up at the truck and attempted to rob him. Detectives later located video showing the teen walking back and forth in the neighborhood before Miller pulled into the area. So yeah, he was definitely set up. If he's pacing back and forth waiting, the teen was also seen on video running towards the area where Miller was parked after about 2 minutes after Miller texted to say that he arrived. Investigators, however, said Miller had likely been communicating with an unidentified accomplice who possibly directed the teen on the robbery. The state attorney office said the news release that upon questioning by the police, the teen identified himself as a person in the video, as did his mother, but that he did not implicate anyone else in the murder. The boy will remain in juvenile holding at the Beverly County Jail Complex pending trial. The case is one of 22 reported homicides that take place in Beverly County this year. Absolutely crazy situation, terrible situation. He was meeting someone to have a good time and ends up getting robbed. Now, do I think that because the young 13-year-old said that he accidentally shot the gun off. Do you think it was an accidental shot, or was it just he just had no remorse for life, or no how do you say it? No problems with killing someone. Now, is it possible it could have been an accidental shot? Yes, it's possible. Does it make a difference? No, not at all. Doesn't make a difference at all. Big boy crimes need big boy time. It's as simple as that. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Big boy crimes need big boy times. He worked with someone to set up this man, this 30-year-old man who was trying to talking to someone, set him up, and as soon 2 minutes after he's saying he arrived, you see the young man running down and going to try to rob him, but ended up taking his own life, or taking his life. Absolutely crazy, y'all. Let me know your thoughts on that situation. Let me know if you disagree with anything I said. Wow, absolutely crazy. It's a crazy world, y'all. You gotta review it together, and we gotta be on the lookout. Don't be meeting random people, because you never know what could happen, or at least be able to protect yourself. Absolutely crazy, y'all. Absolutely crazy. But that is the end of the show today. We went over a lot of crazy things. Let's go through a little summary of everything we talked about today, y'all. We got to. So we talked about the arrest of Sherrone Moore. He was arrested, he was arrested after being fired. And they say he's suicidal right now because he lost his job. He's getting arrested. A lot of crazy things. All this happened within 24 hours. And then we got the excessive force on Patrol Live that happened in Richland County, South Carolina. And he looked beat down. At the end of the day, what do I say? I said it before. If the cop tells you to get out the car, get out the car. If you think your rights are violated, call your lawyer. Just do what they say and call your lawyer. Unless they tell you to do some freak stuff. Then you can fight, and that's understandable. But if they just trying to arrest you, take you to jail, just go with it. And then if your rights were violated, call your lawyer. The next, a 22-year-old girl. Baby was ripped out by her family members. We don't know exactly who did it, but somebody ripped her baby out while she was still alive. Some sick individual demons in this world. Don't matter if they family, they can still be demons. And lastly, we got a 13-year-old who was working with someone to set up a 30-year-old man. Tried to rob him, ended up taking his life. And all because of that, he's going to be charged as an adult for murder and attempted robbery. And most likely, that 13-year-old is going to be an old man by the time he gets out, or he's going to get life. It's a crazy world we live in, y'all. We got to review it together. We have to review it together. Like always, let me know your thoughts on any of the things we talked about. Thank you for watching it now, and thank you for watching it later. We got to review this world together, y'all. We have to review this world together. You already know these videos will be broken down, so you can find the exact one you like. Now, this is AC Reviews the World, y'all. I am AC the Engineer. Remember to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and hit that notification bell so you can be up to date on all the videos I'm dropping. It's a crazy world. It's a crazy world, y'all. But you already know I got to play the outro. That's it for now, y'all. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Peace.